अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। रब्बी ज़िदनी इल्मा। अल्लाहुम्मा फ़क़्क़िहना फ़िद्दीन। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी अस्अलुका इल्मन नाफ़िअ व अमलन मुतक़ब्बला व रिज़्क़न तय्यिबा। So today we'll be revising two topics, inshallah: flexibility and four reasons for an ism to be light. मेरी आवाज क्लियर आ रही है सबको क्या?
Yes.
Okay, Jazakallah for replying, Salman. Good to have you here. Okay, so the first topic that we'll do is flexibility. And the discussion of flexibility only pertains to words that have an ending sound. इसका मतलब है कि जब हम मुस्लिम चार्ट की बात कर रहे होते हैं तो सिर्फ only the first column, only the singular column that has the ending sound, Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. Only those words we'll be talking about when we're talking about flexibility. We are not talking about words with ending combination. Now, as you're fully aware, there are three kinds of flexibility that we'll be discussing: fully flexible, partly flexible, and non-flexible. So the first that we'll discuss is fully flexible because that is the default state for a word and that is the broadest category. 97% of the words that we will be studying, inshallah, will be in the fully flexible state. And the fully flexible, actually, we've already studied in the Muslim chart, because fully flexible words are those words, just by looking at the ending sound, we can tell which status it is in, whether it is rafa, whether it is the doer status, or it is.
I can't see the fully flexible slide.
Okay, बाकियों को नजर आ रही है क्या?
The slide is on flexibility, the first page.
Okay, मेरे पास लिखा आ रहा है your screen sharing is paused. क्यों? अच्छा ठीक है, new share पे I think I'll click on that. तो फिर can you see it now, Salman?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Jazakallah. Is Sister Mahira also joining us today?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. So when we're talking about fully flexible, we're only, when we're talking about flexibility, we're only talking about the first column of the Muslim chart that we have studied, the singular column. And the first of the flexibility that we will discuss is fully flexible because that's the easiest. We've already studied that it is the default state for a word. अगर हम देखेंगे if a word does not fall in the partly flexible category and it does not fall in the non-flexible category, then it is fully flexible. 97% of the words that we will study are fully flexible. And they're very easy because if you just look at the ending sound, you can tell the status. For example, if we just look from, I've taken all these examples from the Green Book. So if you look at the examples on the screen, Muslimun, because it's ending with two Dhamma, do pesh, that is why it is the Rafa status, the doer status. If it's ending with do sabar, so fatha, then this is the nasab status, the detail status. And if it is ending with two kasras ya do zer, then it is the jar status, the status which comes after all. So three statuses have three unique endings. And just by looking at the ending sound, we can easily tell which status it is in. I'm going to the next slide now. Let me see tell me if you can see the next slide, okay?
Yes, we can.
The non-flexible. Okay? Non-flexible, I think, is even more easier than fully flexible because they never show their status. They look the same in the rafa, nasab, and jar status. When we talk about some examples of non-flexible, we will see words that end in alif maksura, जो हमें या की तरह नजर आता है, और उर्दू में हम इसके ऊपर खड़ा जबर भी लगा देते हैं. Words that end in alif maksura or a normal alif are non-flexible, like Zakariya, Huda, जिसको हुदा यहाँ लिखा हुआ है alif maksura के साथ. Can someone give me any more examples of this category? Words ending in alif maksura or normal alif? Salman, can you give me any more examples?
Musa, Isa.
Yes. Musa, Isa, Yahya. Yes, all those words. Just by looking at the word itself, we cannot tell if it's the rafa status, the dua status, the detailed status, the nasab status, or the after of, which is the jar status. Then how will we get to know what status it is in? Ahmad, are you there? Ahmad Shah?
Yes.
Jay, can you tell me how will you tell whether the word Musa, when you're reading the Quran and you come across the word Musa, how will you tell whether it is the rafa status, nasab, or jar? Any idea?
उसके पीछे वाले लफ्ज देखूंगा ना,
हाँ,
अगर ऑफ
exactly.
में ऑफ आ रहा हुआ तो वो उसमें जर में होगा,
Right.
अगर
You'll have to
डिटेल में
look-
आ रहा. Yes.
You'll have to look at the whole ayah or at least the fragment to tell whether it is in, whether it is in the rafa status, the nasab status, or the jar status. Okay. Then another example of non-flexible word are the pointer words. Isme ishara in the singular and the plural form. And when we did the isme ishara in the class, we just learned the isme ishara of singular and plural forms. We left the isme ishara of the pair because they are rarely used in the Quran. Can anyone tell me the isme ishara? किसी को याद है?
Can I?
जी, please. Mariam, is that Mariam?
Ji.
जी, Mariam.
Haza, hazihi, haulai,
Yes.
ulaika, tilka, zalika.
Ji, very good. Alhamdulillah. Just learn them in the correct order so that it's easier for you to remember, okay?
Okay.
Again, these isme ishara are also non-flexible. Just by looking at the word, you cannot tell which state it is in. So you have to look at the fragment or you have to look at the whole ayah for that. Then all of the ism mausula are also non-flexible. Ism mausula are the ones that translate into those who. Let me go to the next slide and then you can see. Ism mausula are the ones that are allazi, allazina, allati, allati, allawai, ma and man. जिसको हम उर्दू में translate करते हैं वो जो, ठीक है? And English we will say those who. These words are also non-flexible. And like isme ishara, just like Mariam said, haza, hazihi, haulai, zalika, tilka, ulaika. These are also non-flexible. Is this clear till now? Sister Myra, is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Okay, now we come to the non-flexible words. Okay, we are still on the non-flexible words. This is probably the last slide for it. Just to look at an example, if you're talking about the word Musa, all the three status have one ending. If you notice, it's ending in alif maksura, and it looks the same whether it is in the rafa status, the nasab status, or the jar status. Okay, now we come to the partly flexible words. And they're not too much, they're just 2.5% of the words that we go through are partly flexible. And inshallah, as we keep reading, we'll get to recognize them more. There are two important points to remember about partly flexible. Number one, partly flexible word will not take a tanween. It will not have a double fatha or a double kasra or a double dhamma. That means it will be light. Number two, it cannot take a kasra. End में वे नहीं आएगा. So if we talk about the word Yusuf, the word Yusuf is partly flexible. In the Rafa status, it's Yusufu. It's not Yusufun. Because it cannot take a tanween, so it's not Yusufun. It's just Yusufu. The Nasab status is Yusufa. Again, it's not taking the tanween, it's not Yusufan, it's Yusufa. And the Jar status is also Yusufa because it cannot take tanween and it cannot take the kasra. So for partly flexible, we Ji, Maryamu, Maryama, Maryama. That's right. Saad, I think आपका mic unmute हुआ हुआ था. So these words, partly flexible, the two important points to remember are, number one, they will be light, they cannot take a tanween, and number two, they cannot take a kasra. Now we look at some examples of partly flexible words and some categories. In fact, these three categories are being shown to you on the screen of partly flexible. Number one is non-Arab names are partly flexible. Just like we discussed the word Yusuf, just like that, Ismail, Ibrahim, and there are more examples in the green book. I've just taken these. There's no tanween. It is light. And number two, it has not taken a kasra. Even in the jar status, there is no kasra. In fact, the nasab and the jar status are the same. So it's Ismail, Ismaila, Ismaila, Ibrahimu, Ibrahima, Ibrahima. The other category to remember for partly flexible are feminine names. Feminine names are partly flexible. For example, Khadija, Khadija too. It's not Zainaba. So partly flexible names. The other category that we have to remember are feminine names. Third category to remember for partly flexible are proper names of places. Not words like masjid or maktab, which is school, because they're not proper names of places. But when you're talking about the names of cities, for example, proper names of places, they are partly flexible. Yes, Ribu. Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
वालेकुम। आवाज आ रही है? Okay, Hassan, Jazakallah. I'm very sorry, there was some problem with my internet. Can someone tell me कि कहाँ तक ये बात हुई थी before I disconnected?
Proper places.
Mubarra, can you hear me?
जी, you were telling us कि proper names of proper places जो हैं वो partly flexible हैं.
Okay. So these are the three categories that we need to remember for partly flexible. For the time being, only these three are fine. There are more categories, but अभी Green Book में भी यही mentioned हैं और these three for the time being we just need to remember them. Number 1, non-Arab names. Number 2, feminine names. Number 3, proper names of places. Okay, now these are 4 Arab prophets. Of all the prophets that are mentioned in the Quran, only these 4 are the Arab prophets. So their names will be fully flexible because अभी हमने क्या कहा था? Non-Arab names are partly flexible, but when we talk about Arab names, they are fully flexible. So these 4 just will our जितने भी prophets के names आएंगे वो partly flexible ही होंगे. Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadin, because this is fully flexible, it is taking a tanween, and because it is fully flexible, so it has also taken kasra in the jar status. Just like that, Hudun, Hudan, Hudin, Salihun, Salihan, Salihin, Shu'aibun, Shu'aiban, Shu'aiban. If we just remember these 4 prophet names, then we know all the rest that have been mentioned in the Quran are non-Arab names and they will be partly flexible. So you just need to know these 4 to know that these are fully flexible. The rest of the prophets, all the ones that have been mentioned in the Quran. And we have one exception.
Salman has a question.
That exception is that whenever we have yes, Salman.
You said that the Arab names are fully flexible. So if we say Abdullah, Abdullah is also Arab name. So will Abdullah be Abdullah, Hun, Abdullah, Han, Abdullah, Hin?
If Abdullah is an Arab name, then it would be fully flexible. I'm not sure whether it's an Arab name or not. I'm just a student like you are, so I'm revising this topic for you. So I think you'd better ask your Ustada about this, okay? And then let us know in the next class, inshallah. So Arab names are fully flexible and non-Arab names are partly flexible, okay, according to my knowledge. Okay, now we are talking about the exception. One exception, these two, when we're talking about Lut and Nuh, these words are also non-Arab, but they are 3-letter words and there is a sukoon on the middle word. When we have 3-letter words with a sukoon on the middle word, then it becomes fully flexible. Then it will take the mean and then it will take kasra. So these two are fully flexible. The rafa is lutun, nasab is lutan, and jar is lutin. Again, nuhun, nuhan, nuhin. Adnun, adnan, adnin. Ain, dal, nun, adn is also a 3-letter word with the middle word having a sukoon on it. So that is also fully flexible. If this is all clear, we'll go to our next topic. Rehab, is it clear? Rehab, Mubarra, Saad Faruqi, Sister Sarwat, shall we go to the next topic now?
Yes.
Yes, inshallah.
It's nice to have all of my old high-tech students with me. I'm so glad to see you there with me. Okay, let's do our next topic. Our next topic is, and I've borrowed these slides from the slides that Ustada shows us at times. And they're much more colorful and better than the slides that I made for you for flexibility. Okay, we're talking about 4 reasons for an ism to be light. Now, the default the default is that an ism will be heavy. So whenever in the Quran we see an ism which is light, then we should always ask ourselves, why is it light? Is it because of the first reason, second reason, third reason, or fourth reason, which we'll be discussing now? So whenever you come across a light ism, please ask yourself which reason has made it light. First of all, let's see what light is. Can somebody revise the Muslim chart for me? This is the light version. Can somebody tell me the original Muslim chart?
Can I say?
Yes, please.
Muslim.
Muslimun became Muslimu. Musliman, we removed one of the harakat and it became Muslima. And Muslimin, Muslimi. So simply by removing one chart for feminine. Saad Faruqi, do you remember the Muslim chart, the feminine Muslim chart? Can you recite it for us?
Muslimatun, Muslimatan, Muslimatin, Muslimatani, Muslimatin, Muslimataini, Muslimatun, Muslimatin, Muslimatin.
Okay, mashallah. So again, for the singular column, simply by removing one of the harakat, Muslimatun became Muslimatu. For nasab, Muslimatan became Muslimata. And for jar, Muslimatin became Muslimati. For pair and plural, where we had the ending combination, Ani, Aini, Atun, Atin. Sorry, for the pair, when we had Ani, Aini, we simply removed the noon at the end. Muslimatani has become Muslimata. And we're not going to say Muslimata because that is the singular nasab. We have to pronounce the alif at the end. Muslimata. And the nasab and jar, after removing the noon, becomes Muslimatai. And then for the plural, again, because it had tanween, we simply made the tanween into single harakat and it became Muslimatu, Muslimati, Muslimati. So whenever we see a word similar to this, whenever we see a light version of a word, then it has to be one of the 4 reasons. Now we look at the reasons again. Okay. The second reason we've already done. We just discussed that if an ism is partly flexible, then it cannot be heavy and it cannot take a kasra. Remember we said it cannot take tanween, it cannot be heavy, and it cannot take a kasra. So, for example, we discussed Makkatu when we were talking about proper names of places. We discussed the word Makkatu. It's not Makkatun for Rafa. Instead, it's Makkatu. And for Nasab, it's Makkata. Instead of Makkatan, it's Makkata. And for Jar, since we cannot even have a Kasra, again, it's Makkata. So I hope reason number 2 is already clear because we've discussed it. If anyone has a question, please ask. Otherwise, we'll move on to the other reasons.
Yes.
You have a question, Hassan? Or you want me to move on? Okay, we'll move on.
What is the
Okay.
jar?
Okay, I'll explain that to you, Hassan, when we meet, inshallah. Okay, now we come to the first reason. The first reason for an ism to be light is categorical negation. Categorical negation is when we have lam alif la, which means no, and it is followed by an ism which is light and it is in the nasab status, and then it is immediately followed by harf of jar. Ustaza had not mentioned harf of jar back then because we did not know harf of jar what it was, but now since we know, again I've taken the examples from the Green Book. In I think chapter number 9, they have these examples when they are talking about negation. When we are talking about categorical negation, after lam alif, number 1, the ism after lam alif has to be nasab. Number 2, it has to be light. Number 3, it is followed by harf of jar, fragment. Then it is categorical negation, and we translate it as absolute negation. That means there is no exception to this. La ikraha fitteen. The word ikraha is an ism which is nasab, which is in nasab status, which is light, and it is being followed by the fragment, harf of jar fragment, 15. So it doesn't, the translation is what we usually say is there is no compulsion in the religion, but the real translation will be there is absolutely no compulsion in the religion. The next example that we have here is La Sharika Lahu. Again, after Lam Alif La, we have the word Sharika, which is an ism. It is in nasab status, it is light, and it is being followed by a harf of jar fragment, Lahu. So this translates into he has absolutely no partner, sorry, astaghfirullah. He has absolutely no partner. There is absolutely no partner for him. Let's look at example number 3. La raiba fi. When we're talking about the book of Allah Ta'ala, these words come there, la raiba fihi. The word la, lam alif la, is being followed by an ism raiba, which is in nasab status. It is light, and it is being followed by the harf of jar fihi, harf of jar fragment. So it translates into there is absolutely no doubt in it. So when we're talking about categorical negation, we're talking about something in which there is no exception. This is reason number 1 for an ism to be light, categorical negation.
Also,
Is it
like
clear?
La ilaha illallah. There is absolutely no
Yes.
God.
Yes, Salman, you're right. We had discussed this example with Ustaza also. La ilaha illallah. There is absolutely no ilahi except Allah Ta'ala. Yes, that's right. Okay, so this is the first reason for an ism to be light. So when in the Quran you see an ism which is light. And if there was lam alif before it, and there was a harf of jar fragment after it, then this was categorical negation. This is the reason why that ism was light. Okay.
I have a
we've done
question.
reason number- Ji Mariam.
After la, the ism can be in any status.
When you're talking about categorical negation,
Yes.
then in after la, the ism has to be in nasab status. If the ism is not in nasab status after lam alif, after la, then this is not categorical negation. It's some other kind of negation then. Okay.
Yes.
Only if the ism is after la, it is nasab, it is light, and it is followed by harf of jar fragment, then this is categorical negation. And then it translates into absolutely no. Okay.
Ji.
Okay, so now if we come across an ism which is light, and we see that it is not, there was no la before it, and it was not a partly flexible ism, then we have two more reasons for it to be light. Reason number 3 for an ism to be light is when you are calling someone. For example, Muhammad, the word Muhammad is by default it's heavy, and because it's fully flexible. But when we're calling a boy named Muhammad, you will not say Ya Muhammadun. You will say Ya Muhammadu. Okay? Or when you're calling, for example, a boy named Saleh. Again, Saleh is an Arab word, and we know that it is fully flexible. It should be Salihun in the Rafa stages. But when you're calling someone Saleh, then you'll say Ya Salihu. So when you're calling someone and you have the word Ya before it, then that ism also is light. It will not take a tanween and it will be light. Or it
Ya
will not
Hassan.
have an ending. No. Yes, Ya Hassan. That's right. Okay. The fourth reason for an ism to be light is in the idafa fragment. We already know that the idafa fragment has two parts. Can somebody tell me the names of those two parts? Mubarra, can you tell me the names?
Jar and Majroor.
Gee, we are not talking about the harf of jar fragment. We are talking about the idafa fragment. Mubarra?
Mudaf and mudaf ilay.
Oh yeah, I
Gee.
forgot.
Mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Okay? So when we talk about the idafa fragment, then we have the mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Can someone tell me the what are how? I mean, if you're talking about mudaf, how will we recognize that this is mudaf ilayh? Mudaf में क्या होना चाहिए? Mudaf ilayh में क्या होना चाहिए?
It should be light and it should not have al, and the mudaf ilayh
Yes,
should be
mudaf.
just.
Okay, the first word, the mudaf, has to be light and it cannot have al. And the second word, mudaf alayh, has to be in the jar status. Now, if you remember, we did 3 kinds of idafa fragments. Let's look at the first kind, which has the off translation, which shows belonging. Remember, idafa usually shows belonging or possession. When we're talking about the first one, the one which has the off translation, Imamul Masjidi. The first word, Imam, is the mudaf, and this is light. We did not say Imamun, we said Imamu. And it has no alif lam, and then the word Al Masjidi is in the jar status. So this is the fourth reason for an ism to be light. If the ism is the mudaf, then it has to be light. Let's look at the second kind of idafa, where we attach a pronoun to an ism. When we're talking about the attached pronouns, not the independent pronouns, but the attached pronouns. For example, baituhu, the word baitu is the mudaf and hu is the mudaf alayh. The word baitu is light, it's not baitun. Instead, it's baitu, and it has no alif lam, and we've attached a pronoun in the jar status to it. So it becomes baituhu. Again, what did we notice? That mudaf is light. It's not baitun, it's baitu. And we're talking about the third kind of mudaf, idafa fragment. When we're talking about the special mudafs, most of which are the prepositions, tahtal ardi. Again, the word tahta is light. Okay, the mudaf has to be light. So these are the 4 reasons for an ism to be light. So whenever we see an ism which is light, we have to ask ourselves whether it falls in the first reason, the second, third, or the fourth. There has to be a reason for an ism to be light. Otherwise, by default, isms have to be heavy. Number 1, either it will be the categorical negation, which means there will be la before it, it will be nasab, it will be light, and it will be followed by a harf of jar fragment. Or it will be a partly flexible ism, which we have discussed. For example, it can be a non-Arab name, it can be a feminine name, or it can be a proper name of a place. Or number 3, it can be light because we were calling someone, like we said, Ya Muhammadu, Ya Salihu. Or number 4, it can be an idafa fragment. If the ism is light and it does not have alif lam, and it is being followed immediately by an ism in the jar status, then it is an idafa fragment. So whenever whenever we're reading the Quran, and let's pay some attention to the words there, and then when we come across a light ism, we should look up these reasons. Does anyone have any questions? That brings me to the end of my presentation. यही सोचा था डिस्कस करने का, या और कोई anything else that anyone wants to share, please? Shall we end the session then? Rehab,
Yes.
shall we end the session? Okay. Chaliye, who can say the dua at the end? Saad hai? Saad Akhtar, are you there?
No, he's not. Can I say?
Okay, Mariam. Please go ahead.
Subhanakallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
MashaAllah.
Jazakumullah.
Allah
Jazakumullah.
Waalaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah Hafiz.
Waalaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.